Are you trying to buy a home and no matter what, your offers aren't getting accepted? It can be pretty frustrating. The potential reasons why coming up in today's episode of Ask Us Anything. Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask Us Anything, where we take your real estate questions and we answer them. I'm Theresa Grant, your host. I'm the team lead for Theresa Grant and Associates Real Estate Partners at Coldwell Banker Skyridge Realty, and I am so glad that you were able to join us today. Before I move on and I pull out a question from our Magic Ask Us Anything bowl, I'd like to remind you that we're here to answer your real estate questions. So if you have a real estate related question at all, go ahead and send us a comment and we'll go ahead and put it in the bowl to be answered in a future episode. And the reason I was just kind of like awkward there for a moment is I was thinking to myself, how many times can you say the word real estate? Okay, look, this is a live show. We don't script it. It's not one of those things that we say, and take two. So, I'm human. Sometimes these are better than others. So we're just going to go ahead and move along. So, I'm going to pull out our lovely Ask Us Anything bowl and pull out a question and see what today's question is. I'm frustrated because, oh, this is sad. I'm frustrated because I've written so many offers on so many different properties and I haven't been able to win one of them, even writing highly over ask. I think that's what it says, highly over ask. Okay, so let's talk about that. Today's real estate market, not just in our market area, but pretty much around the United States, is really short on inventory, and there's a lot more competition for people to be able to buy houses. That's just a fact of the marketplace right now. Sometimes people think that if they write these huge offers over ask, that automatically means that they're going to get the house. Unfortunately, that's not the way that it works. As a realtor, when I am showing property to a client, I tend to look at the situation that the seller is in and kind of like read the room. Because sometimes what makes or breaks getting your offer accepted has nothing to do with price, but it has everything to do with terms. Let me explain. Let's take scenario one, where you're writing your offer and you're writing it for full price or maybe a little bit over list price. But in your terms, you're asking for a bunch of financial concessions. Maybe you're asking for the seller to pay closing costs or for a home warranty or for repairs or something like that. If they've got a competing offer that is at the same price you're offering to pay them, but that offer isn't asking for all those concessions, then this other offer is going to look better than yours. Even if you are bidding over ask, if you're eating up the potential over ask number with the concessions that you're asking for, again, it's not going to be the right terms for a seller who's just looking at the bottom line. So that's scenario number one. The second scenario is a little bit more complicated. So up here in our market area, we have a mix of full-time and part-time. If we walk into a home that is occupied full-time and there's stuff everywhere, and you think, you know what, I'm just going to put together this offer and I'm going to say it's all cash, I'm all in, I can close this in 10 days, let's go, and you're thinking that's a great offer, look at it from the seller's perspective, who has lived in this house for years, has all this stuff to pack up and move, and maybe they haven't identified where they're going to go to next, and you're going to come in with this offer that has a, it's got a good price, it's got, you're not asking for anything crazy, but the term of fast close automatically can make that seller go, I like the numbers, but I can't do this in 10 days. Are you crazy? So that offer is going to go bye-bye, and they're going to take an offer that's competing, that has better terms for them in terms of closing the escrow and being able to move out. Okay? The third scenario where you can get messed up in a multiple offer situation is when you offer so high over ask. We actually call it trying to buy the contract, because this is what happens. If you're getting an appraisal because you're getting a loan for the property, the appraiser is going to come in and take a look at the value of the property and say, yes, it's worth this, or no, it's not. So what happens if you offer $25,000 over ask, for example, and it doesn't come in at that value? Then we're dealing with mythical money, okay? So the seller then has the option to either lower the price of the home, and maybe they had had bona fide offers that were higher than their list price, but not quite as high as yours. So they're going to see that as, you know, hey, I just lost money. Or they're going to cancel the contract completely and go to a backup offer, which likely they do have in hand. Or they're going to come to you and say, you know what? It appraised for this price. You offered this price. You have the cash to be able to make up the difference, right? And if you don't, the deal's dead. So I would say in that situation, if you are going to offer like really high over list, make sure that along with your offer, which of course is going to have your pre-qualification, or better yet, your pre-approval with full DU along with it, if you're getting a loan, make sure that you also attach proof of funds to show that you not only have the money for the down payment, but you also have the money to bridge the gap if that's something you're at all considering. Obviously, the scenarios that I'm giving you right now are not a one size fits all. Everything is going to be different because we're dealing not just with four walls and a roof, we're dealing with people and their own motivations and their own needs. And it's not just about you, the buyer, it's also about the seller. Be sure to talk with your real estate professional and put together a plan of action that makes you comfortable. I tell my clients, I don't want you to offer over ask unless you really, really feel you need to, because I don't want you to be uncomfortable when you're buying a home. This particular type of thing, buying or selling a home, can already be fairly stressful. We don't want to add to that stress by putting together offers that are kind of like that jump the shark situation where you're just completely uncomfortable from the get-go. So definitely talk with your realtor, put together a game plan, put together your comfort scenario, and move forward. And to the person who sent in that particular question, I understand your frustration. I can't say where the market's going, but I can tell you eventually your realtor will help you find a home. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up. As usual, I'm going to remind you that real estate is my passion. I'm so grateful that you gave me some of your time to join me as I answered today's question. And I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite quotes. It's a newer favorite quote, but it is one of my favorite quotes that says, "Interested people watch obsessed people change the world." I'm obsessed about real estate, and I'm here to help you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.